Yeah.
Yeah, it is a confusing subject.
Yeah.
Because I think Defiance started with the XM and kind of.
Well, started calling the short the medium. That was the first problem. And then they called the medium XM. And now they have XM Plus.
Welcome to the Shoot to Hunt podcast. I'm Ryan Avery. I'm here with Jake Machaney.
I guess I don't have to ask you how much you weigh. Well,
we're doing a double podcaster today. So if you're listening, you didn't listen to our push feed versus controlled round feed. A couple podcasts ago, man, it hurts me to say this again. I weighed in at 219, went on a cruise, ate my weight in ribs, drank a lot of beer. And as of this morning, what is it? It is what? 5'11", 2023. I weigh 224 pounds. So I have 3.5 months. All right. To get to 180.
Do you weigh in like post morning shit?
This morning. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 224, dude. I am a fat fuck right now. So I got to get down. So I got to lose 44 pounds.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm almost 270 now.
No, dude, you're 6'2". I'm 5'8".
Yeah. That's a good point.
Are you still off the sugar?
I had a cheat day, maybe 2, but this week
maybe 2.
So this week though, we've been in the gym every morning, and I haven't had sugar this week so far.
And your son hasn't had sugar for like 3 months, 4 months
since we started lifting, which was November 30th, his birthday.
November 30th.
Months.
He's what, 13?
13. Hasn't touched the sugar. Yeah, but he could fuck up a bag of chips. Don't get me wrong. It ain't like he's eating healthy. He's just avoiding the sugar.
He switched from sugar to salt.
Or just carbs in general. You know.
Well, he's, I will say for a 13-year-old, he's highly disciplined.
Yes.
It's impressive. All right.
So today our plan is to help educate you all on medium actions, not short, not long, but medium. The why, who, what, where, when, how, all that good shit, how components fit together, options that are available to you. Hopefully we can pretty much cover everything, because I think there's kind of it's almost like it's the black sheep.
I was just going to say it's still I think a confusing topic. I think we should start as, why do I need a medium? Okay.
So as it stands right now, let's just take the world as a short and a long. A short action is generally 2.950. This is your inside magazine length. You can only fit from, up to 2.950 inches long. Moving to a long action, the general consensus would be CIP length, which is 3.750, sometimes 3.770. And that's also true with the short. Sometimes you can get 2.970 versus 3.770. There's this wide gap there for medium type of cartridges. I'll give you a clear example is a 6.5 PRC, 6.5 PRC shooting a 156 burger. In a SAMI spec chamber, a 156 burger is 3.050 touching the lands. So if you try to squeeze that 6.5 PRC 156 combo into a true short action at 2.950, and you want to leave yourself like 10 thou room in front of the ammunition, that bullet's going to jump 110 thou to engage the lands. That's not usually where that bullet wants to be. It's also not optimal for performance, because you're sticking that bullet down in the case and you're taking up valuable case capacity. The optimal length for a 156 6.5 PRC would be 3.030. Nice 20 thou jump to the lands, not impeding case capacity. You cannot do that on a short action. This is the exact reason why you'd want to bump to a medium. Short Magnum cartridges, if you're watching on the YouTube, out on the table here, we have a 6.5 PRC, a 7 SAUM, a 300 WSM, and then a 7 PRC is all the way to my right. These 4 cartridges and many more are optimized in a medium action. Now, when it comes to short, medium, long, you can kind of look at it like a muzzle brake. You want your muzzle brake to be just over or just at the OD of your muzzle. You don't want a smaller OD muzzle brake than your barrel. It's going to look funky. It's not going to work right. So if you can, like that 6.5 PRC or that 7 PRC, we can put a 7 PRC in our medium. So why would you run a 7 PRC on a long that can technically take up to 3.950 when all you needed was the 3.4? Like our 198 tip load is going to be 3.380.
Really? Perfect.
Fucking, that's 50 thou off the lands in a SAMI chamber. They're fucking hammering. That's exactly the right length that you'd want to put in that magazine.
Yeah. Just for knowledge, can you use a 195 in that?
No, I would even tell you if you're going to shoot a 190 to bump to a long.
Okay.
Now, if you try to run a short action cartridge in a long action magazine, you can run into issues with feeding because of where the lips are on the magazine. The lips are designed for a short brass case or a longer brass case, so the lips would obviously be longer. You can run into issues with feeding a short action cartridge in a long action because there's not that middle ground, right? Like, and that's where the medium fits in too. You can put a 7 SAUM together with a 180 and it's like 3.100. You don't want to shoot a 7 SAUM in a short action. You want full performance. If you're loading custom ammo in a custom rifle, you don't want to put any short Magnum cartridge other than the 6UM because that's the very low side of that length, right? Like the 6mm bullet in a Magnum short cartridge, that's the lowest side of that spectrum. It's right at 2.950 with that 115 loaded all the way out. Soon as you move past that, anything in a 6.5 caliber, 7.30, even 3.38, and a short Magnum, you want it in at least a medium.
Makes a lot of sense.
And again, you can have issues putting that short Magnum in a long action. That's also obviously a good reason. Our line of XL magazines in short, medium, long tend to be much longer than everybody else's. So our medium action and our DBM and Mag, you can fit 3.400 inside. The standard is 3.250. That being said, if you were running a Lone Peak Fusion medium and you wanted our bottom metal and mag, we have another magazine fits in the same medium bottom metal, but it's optimized for Lone Peak. So it'll be 3.250 in the mag.
Why is there that separation there? Why is yours, it was 100 thousandths longer than the standard medium?
We literally developed the medium BAT Vesper and the bottom metal and magazine simultaneously. So we were able to literally take every fucking 10th of an inch that we could, every 1,000th of an inch that we could, and squeeze that 3.4 in there. So it's because of the design of the bottom metal with the side mag release and the fact that we were able to design all these things at the same time.
I think that's the Achilles heel of people going to mediums is the components.
It's scary. I'll admit, like, so this will just carry us into this XLR chassis, for example. XLR in a medium, XLR is one of the few action chassis manufacturers that'll do a medium inlet. So you ask for a Lone Peak medium, Defiance medium, so on. And I'll get into which ones are which. But the only thing you could get was this donkey 10-round MDT magazine that fits in this chassis for a medium. So we just got done developing a magazine specifically for that chassis and medium because we build a lot on them and we wanted a better option for our customer. So that's a 3-round single stack center feed, drops right into the XLR chassis, and it is the best option on the market for this setup.
What does that measure?
This is 3.250 inside.
Okay.
3.250 inside.
So that wouldn't be your first choice for a 7 PRC.
No, you cannot build a 7 PRC on our medium if you have an XLR chassis. However, every other short Magnum, every WSM, every SAUM, every 6.5 PRC, you guys are even necking up 6.5 PRC to 7, all that good shit. Mm-hmm. The stuff that Greg's doing, all that stuff is going to be optimized in this setup. So we'll talk about the actions that have a standard footprint. So the reason why it scares people is because Remington 700 is the base for all of the actions, the clone actions of today. Remington doesn't make a medium action. So people hear medium, they're like, what the fuck? What is that? To make things worse, Defiance called the short action a medium. Fucked everybody up. And then Defiance did the XM,
yes,
which was not the same bolt spacing as Lone Peak. Fucked everybody up. So they just fucked everybody up two ways. They called a short a medium. And then when they finally made a real medium, they called it an XM. And then they made the bolt spacing wrong. This confuses people.
I don't know anything about these. Does the action screws fit into all three, or obviously not? If you have like an M5, will it fit into the Lone Peak, the Defiance, and yours?
Yes. So Defiance just came out with XM Plus because they realized how stupid it was and decided to make the bolt spacing the standard that everybody else is doing. When we built the BAT Vesper, we aligned it with Stiller, Zermatt, Lone Peak, now BAT Machine, and XM Plus. Those 5 actions are the same exact inlet.
And that'll be the standard going
That
forward.
is the standard. And we're proving that because Defiance came around and, XM Plus.
And you can get those in Manners, McMillan,
Yes.
XLR.
So I didn't bring it in here. I just did a YouTube video for you guys that might be listening. I did like a 10-minute video, had all this stuff out on the table, went through the whole spiel too, so you guys can check that out. But I had a Lone Peak medium inlet or action on the table, and that stock is inletted for a Lone Peak medium, and each action interchangeably fits in that inlet. Now, the one caveat to that is load port length. So generally when you're building the custom rifle, you have to make some modifications to the stock to get everything fit and finished to be great. Our load port on the BAT Vesper is much longer because we're at 3.4. Lone Peak is shorter because they're 3.250. Mm-hmm. So you may have to do some work with just the load port cut on the stock, but that's nothing for the rifle builder that's building your rifle. But yeah, so all of those, you can order any of those actions and order a stock in any of those inlets, and they are all interchangeable.
Interesting.
Yes.
That leads me into, I don't know where you want to go with this podcast, but it leads me into you're coming the Schmedium.
Oh shit.
So to confuse more people, not really, because it is a short action, correct?
Yes, it is we're doing the Vesper in a short, and to complement our line of bottom metals and mags, we will have an XL version of a short. Right now, our XL version, a standard long action inside the mag length is CIP, and that's 3.750. Our XL magazine is 3.950, a full 0.2 longer than what everybody else does. Then we went to the medium. The industry standard is 3.250. We're at 3.4. These are both the XL versions that work with the Vesper. The long action XL will work with many other action manufacturers as long as they were cut for the Wyatt's box, the CFE 9, which is a 4-inch box. If you have an action that's cut for a Wyatt CFE 9 and it has an M5 inlet in the bottom, you can drop in our magazine and bottom metal. It's ready to go.
So if in doubt, whatever you do, get an M5 bottom metal.
Yeah, nowadays, just like control round feed and push feed, everything is push feed. The same thing. If you're going to do a custom build or you're going to order your own stock, M5 is a standard shape, whether it be short, medium, or long, that gives you the most options.
Can you do a little talk? First of all, talk about your bottom metal and magazine, mostly your magazine. So I don't know, when the first 6UM first came out, I was dinking around with it, and I put that 6UM in your long action bottom metal on a gun you had just to see if it would feed, and it fed.
Yes.
We're talking a 295 fed in a 395 bottom metal, a magazine.
It all has to do with the feed lip length.
So how does that work? Why is this different? And what is up with this little hump in the front of the magazine?
That's where the shoulder is. It's supposed to keep them back. Basically, as you pull the trigger and recoil happens, you don't want the rounds to slam forward. That's to help with that. But yeah, that's where the neck shoulder junction is.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty sleek. It's pretty awesome bottom metal and mag.
It is, well, I'm biased, but I think it's pretty much the best thing on the market at the moment. 3-round single stack center feed, all CNC billet. I mean, we're anodizing the outside of the mag. So, I mean, if you're watching, it's pretty awesome. Anodized outside of the mag body, anodized bottom metal. It'll have a tungsten gray push button, tungsten gray base plate. And again, they're all M5. So you can order any Hawkins M5 inlet. This right here is a Hawkins Hunter DBM. And to show you guys an example here, this is our bottom metal and mag. This is a Hawkins Hunter M5, and it's butter. So you can today, and I'll be telling you guys about a coupon code here in a little bit about a medium and a bottom metal and mag. But if you can today, you can order our medium Vesper bottom metal and mag. Everything's in stock, ready to ship. And you can order a stock with a Lone Peak medium inlet and a Hawkins M5 bottom metal, and our shit drops right in, ready to go.
And you have it in stock today.
Yeah, so we did. We got a lot of medium Vesper just came in. Basically, I got a batch of 50 first. And, you know, a lot of those were spoken for, but medium bottom metals and mags just got back from anodized. So we have, you know, a unique opportunity for guys, if we're going to build something for you, we actually have XLR magnesium chassis and a medium inlet in stock right now, along with our new XLR mags. And we have actions, bottom metals, mags, all that good shit. We have several stocks from Macmillan, Manners, AG Composites all ready to build on. But if you guys want to buy the action bottom metal and mag in the next 10 days, use code MEDIUMSROCK, mediums, MEDIUMS, and then rock, ROCK, all one word.
We're going to have to put out 2 podcasts next week.
Yeah. Mediums rock will get you 10% off the package. So you got to put the Vesper in your cart and the DBM and Mag in your cart, and it's going to take 10% off for you. And that's live right now.
Mediums rock.
Mediums rock is the code. Yeah. Go.
Can you just buy the magazine by itself?
Yes. They're separate products on the website. So it literally says DBM and then magazine. And that's because now we have like the XLR options. So everything has a standard length and an XL length. So the XL would be the longer ones we were talking about. The short's going to be 3.150. The medium's 3.4. The long is 3.950. When it comes to the medium, you cannot use the XL magazine on any other action but ours. We did send spacing and stuff to Lone Peak. I'm not sure if they plan on making any changes to be able to use it, but ours is the longest medium on the market.
Yep. And you'll have the longest short action on the market.
And we'll have the longest short action going to be 3.150.
Where is that? Where do you break that off? So you'll be able to run any freaking like 6.5 PRC, 6.5 SAUM in that medium. It's a short. I keep saying medium, but it is like you're into the medium territory. You said 3.15?
Yeah, we're into the old medium territory.
So where's the cut? I don't even know where would you jump from that to a medium? Maybe, I guess it gives you room if you want to change cartridges down the road. Definitely.
I would look at our medium kind of like a Tika. Like, what would you build on a Tika? That's the same shit you can build on our medium. And then the short action, the 3.150, that definitely opens up a lot of doors, like the 6.5 PRC. That's all you would need is our new short. But not every short action aftermarket like Defiance, et cetera, is going to have that 3.150. I think the Defiance, we're going to have a Defiance specific mag is going to be 3.1. So that may cut you off from something you're trying to do. Like a 300 WSM with a 215 hybrid is longer than that. So that might be the best option. You bump up to a medium. And options is a great subject also because the BAT Vesper has a modular bolt face. So you can just take off your standard bolt face, put on a Magnum, or take off your Magnum and put a Lapua. Rebarrel in 2 years after you build your rifle and put yourself in a new cartridge. But yeah, medium.
And you can order a full build today if you wanted.
Oh yeah, we're ready to rock on those. But I mean, don't be scared. What guys are scared about is what parts are available and how things work together. If you order a stock and you want to do a medium build, just order it with a Lone Peak medium inlet and order it with a Hawkins M5 inlet on the bottom, and you have all those options I just laid out for you. I'm not sure who else is making a Hawkins or a M5 medium setup other than us and Hawkins. I couldn't say whether something else would fit or not, but I know between us and Hawkins, they're interchangeable.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. What about these rings sitting here on the table? They're kind of thick.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of, let's call it profiling, little styling on them still, but this is the very first prototype of Tika dovetail scope rings. We're going to do, we got a lot going on with that. We're going to have a rock slide pre-sale, like very, very quickly. So keep an eye out for that.
Very soon.
It'll be a 30 millimeter low and high and a 34 millimeter low and high. I could already tell you the breakdown for the 34 would be, the low would be a 52 objective and smaller with a steel barrel. We're going to build a little chart to make it easier for you to pick them. But basically, like I said, 30 low and high. 30 lows will be the most popular seller. And then 34 low and high.
Yep. They have 3 holes. They have 3 screw holes in the bottom, so they're adjustable. You can slide it down. It has the front pin screw.
Yeah, that front pin hole that's in the top of the Action, there are 3 available positions for that pin to locate your scope ring anywhere on there. So for those of you that don't know, if you have a Tika Action, it has a built-in rail on the Action. We call it a dovetail. These rings are designed to clamp directly to the Tika dovetail, so no need for a scope base. Unless you need to hit that, if you got to get the 20 MOA base in there, you got no choice there. These won't be 20 MOA. In order for scope rings to be canted, they have to be a specific distance apart because otherwise the angles don't work. So we're not going to have those. There'll be 0 MOA, but they will basically screw directly to the top of your Tika Action. No longer need for a rail. These will be delivering inside of 8 weeks from today, which is the 11th. Like I said, we're going to do a rock slide set up, a pre-order. There will also be a Tika dovetail level. So it'll be a small clamp directly onto the Tika to have a bubble level on, obviously whichever side you want, but those will also be released at the same time.
Right. And the reason for the 3, for those that don't know, the 3 holes in the bottom, you can actually push these farther out past the ejection port now. Some people bitch that they get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And these you can, and you can run like an NX8.
Yep.
The little short compact
2.5 to 20. Yeah.
Not just NX8, but pretty much any short scope because you can slide it back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And clamp force better than screw force. So
yeah,
it's actually meant to be how Tika should have.
Yep.
Rings.
That's why they put that rail there.
Yep. One less, people put pick rails or put bases on there. It's one less thing to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
One less variable to worry about. And if you know anything about, the pro muzzle brakes, they're beautifully machined, and so are these.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So the medium thing, if you have any questions of any kind about something fitting with something, you guys can email us rifles@unknownmunitions.com or give us a call, select the rifles line. You'll get me on the line. But just remember those Action manufacturers, Stiller, Zermatt, Lone Peak, Defiance, only the XM Plus and BAT Machine all have the same medium inlet. So don't be scared about that. And you have Hawkins and us for bottom metal mag choices. That term BDL won't apply to a medium because it's not a Remington standard. So there won't be any other footprint but an M5.
Gotcha.
And so AG Composites, Manners, and Macmillan all inlet for that Lone Peak medium. That's what you're going to be looking for if you place an order for a stock. And then Hawkins M5 for the bottom metal. Yep.
And then XLR.
Yeah, XLR, again, we have that 3-round single stack center feed mag we developed just for their chassis. I believe they're going to be carrying these in their store as well. We're actually just getting these back from Anno. I think next week they're back from Anno. And we'll be shipping those out. Viking Armament will also be getting some of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you want to hit on your rings? The UM rings?
Yeah, UM scope rings. I'm finally satisfied. Ryan is finally satisfied.
We were dropping his.
He forced me. He forced me to let him drop my 33XC to check if it moved.
He couldn't even watch.
Yeah.
But we have video evidence.
Yeah, I did record it. I need to put that on Instagram today. We checked 0, dropped the scope on all 3 sides while it was on the rifle. Shot it again. 0 was good. So they are final. They're going into production now. We just placed our whole big order. 30 millimeter will be first if you have those on back order. We did sell a lot more sets than I thought ahead of time. So
yeah, you said like 30 or 40. So a lot more than that.
A lot more than that. So 30 mil will run first and then on to 34s. And then immediately after, we're also going to do 35s for you Leupold Mark V guys that Ryan doesn't care for.
You use whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think we're good. We're just really trying to help educate people on the medium stuff so that they understand what they're getting into and they don't get nervous about it. It's no different than ordering any other custom action or any other custom stock or bottom metal. You just got to make sure you order the right stuff. And it is now a standard. I mean, to me, 5 action manufacturers with the same inlet, that's a standard. And then again, M5 on the bottom. So that's a standard. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a confusing subject.
Yeah.
Because I think Defiance started with the XM and kind of.
Well, started calling the short the medium. That was the first problem. And then they called the medium XM. And now they have XM Plus. Yeah.
Well, hopefully that cleared it up.
Yes, sir.
Got any questions for me or Jake? Podcast@shoottohunt.com. If you have any, or you can get a hold of us on Instagram or follow us on Instagram, please, at Shoot to Hunt on Instagram. Sorry. And then we've been promising we're going to give something away. I promise we will look on the next podcast and we will give something away for a person that left us a review on Spotify or Apple. So anyways.
Well, you're going to have to pick 2 at this point.
I'll pick 2.
Next podcast.
Yeah. We appreciate it. If you like the podcast, please go leave us a review. If you don't, please don't.
Billy Bob's going to leave a negative review.
Well, I hope not. I hope on that we have a podcast coming out on Controlled Round Feed. We could be wrong. Prove it to us.
That's okay.
Show us why we're wrong.
It's okay to be wrong.
Because we already talked about this to death, but we already have a huge Controlled Round Feed advocate, and he hasn't changed my mind.
Yeah.
So, but there's somebody out there that probably could.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.